Hi everyone, welcome to my channel and welcome back. I'm Jeannie, and in today's video we're going to do some Chrombré nails, which is just basically ombre nails with some chrome on top. So I've got these two beautiful colors from All Powdered Up. I can't believe I haven't used them yet. I had them for a couple months. They're from her last release. So I've got Lavender Haze and Bright on Time, and these two colors are just so beautiful and so fun. And then the chrome I'm going to be using is from West Coast Dips. This is their donut chrome, and I absolutely love the way the chrome looks on top of the ombre. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump straight into this mani. So I'm going to be using my normal dip method for the base of my nails for the ombre. So in order to make it easier to do the ombre, I'm just going to go ahead and pour both my jars into a Chaos Gemerald from Chaos Concepts. And that's just going to make it a little bit easier because these jars are so full that if I tried to ombre in the jars, I'd probably make, well, I made a big mess anyway regardless, but I made less of a mess that I poured it into my Chaos Gemerald. And these are the kind of glitters or micro flakies, or I'm not really sure what exactly the material is. All I know is that they are magic, but they are the kind that if you breathe around them, they fly everywhere. Jen, the owner of All Powdered Up, always has a bunch of dips like that. She's really good at that, but they're so worth it. So for my ombre, I'm using my Mani Boss dip base. So I'm just applying a thin, even layer to my entire nail. And then I am going to dip into Lavender Haze and start at my cuticle area. So I want the most amount of glitter to be at my cuticle area. So that's where I'm starting, because obviously when I first dip my brush into the glitter, that's going to pick up the most amount of glitter. And then I'm just going to slowly transition towards the center of my nail. I'm kind of rotating my finger to make sure I'm getting my sidewalls as well. But I want it to be the most at the cuticle area and then kind of fade into the middle area of my nail. I'm going to tap off the excess glitter, but I'm going to tap it away from the wet dip base because I don't want it to fall anywhere near the free edge. And then once I've done that, then I will dip my other eyeshadow brush into Bright on Time, dip it into the glitter, and then tap the glitter into the rest of my wet dip base. So that's at the free edge area. So I am wearing peel base, so it does dry a little too quickly on me, but usually with the Mani Boss dip base, it's about a medium dry time. I have plenty of time to do an ombre, but you'll see after I dust off the excess glitter, after I finish with all my nails, I don't get full coverage, but that's just because of my peel base making my dip base dry a little bit quicker. But you know, with dip base, it is a air dry, so it's not like you have all the time in the world. You do have to work a little bit quicker than if you were working with like a gel base. Since all my nails are going to have the same ombre, I'm not going to worry about dusting off the excess powder until after I'm done with all my nails, and that'll give my dip base plenty of time to dry. So I'm just going to continue on and do this ombre, and I have to say, I love these colors separately, but I love the way they kind of pair together. I kind of struggled with what color pairing I wanted to do, but I feel like this is almost like a thermal look, the way it kind of ombre together. Which after the first layer, it looks a little iffy, but I think it works out after the second layer because I only do 2 layers of the ombre. I could have done more if I wanted to, but I didn't want to do too many layers, so I was happy with the way it happened at 2 layers. So the one thing I did want to talk about while I kind of finish up with the rest of my nails is I know some people struggle with ombres, and if that's you, if you struggle with the tap method of ombres, because you can't really scrub ombre with a glitter, scrub ombre is really great for solids if you struggle with the tap ombre method. But for the tap ombre method, if you have a heavy hand, there are certain things you can do for the tap ombre method to make it look a little more seamless in the transition. So the one thing I will say is the closer you are to your nail, the more controlled you will be on the area that your glitter or powder or whatever you're using is falling. So the further away you are from your nail, it's going to spread more. So if you want to control a little bit more of where the area of where your powder or glitter is falling, get closer to your nail when you're tapping, and that way it's not spreading further than you want it to spread, because then you can accidentally get like your whole nail or whatever. So the distance to your nail definitely does make a difference. Also, make sure that you're moving your finger from side to side, making sure you're getting your side wall as well. And then depending on the area that you're ombreing, whether it's you're doing a vertical ombre, a horizontal ombre. So right now I'm doing a horizontal ombre. So when I'm working at my cuticle area, I want to point my finger downwards, and that way the powder kind of cascades towards the center of my nail. And then once I get to my free edge, I point my finger a little bit upwards, and that way the powder is cascading towards the center, and that way it kind of helps the powder naturally fall. So make sure that, I mean, it doesn't have to be like straight up and down, but make sure you're kind of pointing your finger a little bit depending on the direction that you're doing the ombre, just to help the powders fade a little bit more. And then the same thing if you're doing a vertical ombre. If I were doing towards, let me see, on my hand, if I were doing it towards my middle finger on my current hand, I would point my finger, tilt it towards my middle finger, no, sorry, towards my thumb to get it to fade towards the center. And then when I was doing the other side of my nail that's closest to my thumb, I would kind of tilt my hand towards my middle finger, and then I would let the powder fade towards the center that way. So you kind of have to think about like what you're doing, where you want your powder to fade, and then make sure that you're kind of pointing your finger to kind of help that ombre a little bit more. The other thing I'll say is that after you pick up your powder or glitter with your brush, whatever you're using, make sure that you're tapping before you hit the nail. So either in your container, start tapping a little bit, or on your skin, start tapping a little bit, and then slowly work your way over your nail. And that way the majority of glitter or powder falls outside before you start getting onto your nail. And that will also help control your powder or glitter as well. I think the last thing I'll say is, if you do all of that and you're still struggling with getting your ombre to look well blended, it may just be the colors you're working with. So sometimes they're just like too contrasting where they don't really blend well together naturally anyway. So maybe try different colors that are more similar together, and maybe they'll blend together better. So there's a lot of things you can do to kind of help with your ombre, you know, and if they're really contrasting, you know, if they're a solid, scrub ombre is a really great way to do that. I think I have a video on the scrub ombre method. I will leave that up above in the cards if you want to check that method out. And I also do have specific videos, one on a vertical ombre method and one on a horizontal ombre method. If I'm able to, I will link those above in the card as well. I'm not sure if there's a limit on how many cards I can add. If not, it'll be down below in the description. So I've been talking for a lot, so I'm going to give you a break. But I will say this, when I go into my second layer, what I want to do is make sure that I reverse the order. So I started with the purple on my cuticle area and then went into the pink Bright on Time. So for my second layer, I'm going to change the order, start with Bright on Time at the free edge and then go into Lavender Haze at the cuticle area. And that will also help with the blend. So anyway, that was a lot. I'm going to shut up and let you watch. I went ahead and capped my nails in clear and filed and buffed off camera. So here's how the mani's looking. So now we're getting to the chrome. And for the chrome application, I will be using my Mani Boss 2-in-1 gel base and top coat. Now I find this different than using just a regular gel top coat because of cure time. So depending on the brand and depending on what you're using, your cure time will vary. So you kind of have to play with it to find what is that sweet spot. Because if you under cure, it's too tacky and your chrome will kind of ball up and it won't really chrome and smooth on. But if you over cure or fully cure, your chrome won't stick. So you kind of have to find that sweet spot. So with this 2-in-1 gel base and top coat, I find about 45 seconds is right for this in order to get my chrome to apply properly. So I'm just making sure everything is smooth and even, because the one thing I'll say about chrome, as easy as it is, it's also difficult because you have to make sure everything is smooth and even, because chrome will not only show, it will highlight any imperfection. So when you make sure you're buffing really well, make sure there's no lumps or bumps. And then when you're applying your gel top coat, I'm turning my finger upside down just to make sure it's level, because I want to make sure everything is smooth and even, because I don't want any lumps or bumps to show through that chrome. So once I've got that, I'm going to cure my nails for 45 seconds, and then I'm going to go in with this donut chrome. I think I mentioned it's the donut chrome from West Coast Dips. I can't remember anymore. So because I'm working with gels, I'm using an eyeshadow applicator. I don't like to use my finger. A little bit of chrome goes a long way. So I just dip my brush in a little bit of that chrome, not brush, eyeshadow applicator, and a little bit of that chrome, and I'm just rubbing it really well into my nail just to get that beautiful chromed look. And how pretty is this? I love the way this chrome looks over the ombre. So I'm just rubbing it in. I'm going to make sure that I get my free edge as well, just so everything looks nice and uniform. And then I want to make sure that I'm also dusting off any of the excess chrome powder using a dust brush once I'm happy with the way that looks, because you will get chrome powder everywhere and it does make a little bit of a mess. I want to make sure that I'm removing it so I don't get it on any of my other fingers. So once I'm happy with that, I'm going to continue on with the rest of my fingers, and I start with my gel top coat capping my free edge. I like to cap my free edge first, and the only reason I'm capping my free edge is because I want to chrome the free edge as well, just to make it a little more of a uniform look. So I'm going to cap my free edge. I'll do the tops of my nails by applying that gel base and top coat. I'll make sure to turn my hand upside down, make sure everything's level, and then flash cure. I guess it's more than a flash cure, but cure for 45 seconds. And then I'll apply the chrome to the rest of my nails.
Here we go.
Once I finish applying the chrome, I'm going to go ahead and dust off the excess chrome powder, and then because I only cured the gel for 45 seconds, I need to cure it the rest of the way to give it a full cure. So I put it back in my lamp for about 30 seconds, and then once it's fully cured, I'm going to go in with a final layer of gel top coat using my 2-in-1 gel base and top coat. And this is what's going to protect my chrome, because right now there's nothing on top of it, so it could easily rub off. So I want to make sure that I'm protecting that chrome from staying, and definitely want to make sure you're capping your free edge as well, because your chrome can peel up on you. So I want to make sure I'm capping my free edge and then top coating that chrome. Once I've got that top coated, I will turn my hand upside down, let it level for about 10 seconds, and then I will give them a full cure for 60 seconds. Once my nails are fully cured, I'm going to go ahead and clean up the excess chrome powder using a lint-free wipe and some isopropyl alcohol. I like to wait till my nails are completely finished and top coated, because if I did it before I top coated, I could risk rubbing off that chrome with that alcohol. So I make sure that I top coat first, cure it, and then clean up the excess chrome, because it does make a little bit of a mess. As always, I'm going to finish off my mani by rehydrating my cuticles, and I'm super excited to share some upcoming scents that are releasing soon. So this is, I'll call it F Off by Scales of a Mermaid. It's releasing on April 28th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you can always use my ambassador code Jeannie10 to save 10% off your orders. And this one is such a beautiful fruity scent. It's got a great Satsuma scent to it, and I love Satsuma because it's one of those scents that as soon as I smell it, it makes my mouth water instantly. So it is delicious, although don't eat it. And here we are with the finished look, and this mani is giving me berry vibes, even though it was unintentional, but I'm definitely not mad at it. And I love the way the chrome kind of brought the ombre to another level. I may try another one with like a different type of chrome. I just know I can't use like a mirror chrome because that would completely cover up. So it's got to be somewhat of a sheerer chrome so you can still see that ombre peeking through. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, I'd appreciate it if you gave this video a thumbs up. It lets me know to continue creating content like this. And it also helps YouTube recommend me to others, which helps grow my channel. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. I upload content every Monday and Thursday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. As always, I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.